as a strata of time, both non-linear and recursive, to touch and acknowledge named places without sacrifice.
My name is Steve Kay, and I'm the chairman of the Allies Pub, which is a non-profit, community-supported and community-owned organization. It's based around the idea of a venue which has a British pub, but we are here to support the community. So today we're doing something called Lit Fest, which is our inaugural event to move into the spoken word area. We do an enormous amount of music. You can see music being pulled up behind us right now. But we wanted to move more into the spoken word. So we started off with a Lit Fest, and the idea of that is to bring literature to the people and to make sure that the community can come here and see and really experience literature in its greatest forms. Chico has got so much depth, both in music, in art, and in literature. Right now we have a signing area over here. We have over 25 published authors in Chico who are currently signing books and talking to people about their work. We have short stories going on inside, we have poems, we have a panel that's going to address life in literature, and then we are going to have a competition of poetry versus AI. So we're trying to bring all of those things together for the community, and hopefully, that's really part of what we become going forward. We want to be that anchor in downtown Chico that brings the community back together and reestablishes social connections across the community.
Eva says a tailed story is a dead one. Eva says each new second is a spark that eats the thing it lights. That a story is just what's left after that bright moment's burned to ash. Like stream clay shaped and baked into a pot, Eva says a story might be a helpful thing, and it might be a beautiful, but it's really only useful as a holder for something else.
Hi, my name is Anna B. Moore. I am a writer and a professor of English from Chico State, and I went to the Allies Pub Lit Fest today. I read some of my own work along with 5 other writers who we each shared a bit of a short story. And then I saw a panel on the literary life with a bunch of local authors there, and I just want to go home and write. I just want to go seal myself away and work on my novel. And I love events like this, especially local ones, because it's so inspirational, like emotionally, psychologically, and creatively. And so I'm grateful to the Allies Pub, really grateful to the organizers of the event, and I just feel really good. I have confidence in my work again, which is no small thing.
And why do you think literature matters to us and to the community?
Going back like 30 years ago when I was a graduate student last century, I just remember one of my professors saying, literature is how we step into other people's shoes. Like reading stories about other people, hearing stories about other people, reading poetry, whatever, but it's a way of experiencing empathy for anybody. And that's the way that we live and communicate and connect and enjoy one another and cry for one another and cry with one another. And anyway, it was a great day.
When we started writing this book, we knew that we were going to have to tell this story, and we were going to have to do it really fast. And there was no time to waste. We were going to be on the ground covering people returning home, covering the immediate recovery, while trying to learn what had happened here and why, and what it would mean. So basically, for like 6 months, I spent like every single weekend driving up to Chico and Paradise, staying with my aunt and uncle who are in the audience and who fed me and took very good care of me. And so we spent about like 6 months really on the ground, reporting here, constantly talking to folks. But as you said, like individually, so we kind of divided up the important parts of the story and decided who was going to do what it made sense for each of us to do. For Alistair, he had a real expertise in the climate crisis, and so he looked at the environmental issues that went into it. And I had an interest in PG&E, and so that was kind of my role in the book was to look at that. And so basically for 6 months we reported it, and then after each weekend we would talk on the phone and kind of go over what we.
Hello, my name is Yucheng Tang, and I've truly enjoyed learning a little bit more about the fires and the Paradise Fires. And I was able to have a nice beer with a nice meal and listen to beautiful music while learning a little bit more about how PG&E took their fault with all the fires. And I've had a great event out here, enjoying the community.
So now, we have to try to figure out, of these three, which might have been created by an AI. Maybe we would have the other two folks come up here and remind us of the first line of each of these poems so we can kind of remember about them. We can try to vote about which is which.
A panther sprang at the feet of the young deer in the grey wood. I walk the streets where the wind whispers against old brick walls and the sparrows dart through the gaps in the awning as if they've always known the way.
Yeah, you can vote for yourself. Walk the streets. 1, 2. I can't see them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 2 of us. 7. Everybody else is abstaining. There's more than that many people in here, people. So, 7.
Well now, it looks to me like we actually have a winner. The most people who asked, the most people who voted were for Metzger's piece, and it turns out Metzger's piece was written by AI. Yes. Now, let's find out, why did we pick that? Why did we think that that was written by AI when these other ones didn't sound that way?